Welcome to the Hitch List, a podcast for wedding lovers, planners, and party people. I'm your host, Abby, a seasoned event vendor who wants to spill the champagne on what really goes on behind the scenes. From the planning stage to the final send-off, I'm diving into everything events with the industry's most seasoned vets. We'll talk about brides, grooms, planners, parties, vendors, and the wild stuff no one tells you about. Whether you're planning your dream day, you're knee-deep in vendor contracts, or working in the industry, I've got the tips, tea, and timeline talk to keep you sane. This is the Hitch List, where we can plan, party, and celebrate every detail. Hey friends, thanks for joining us for another episode of The Hitch List, where we get you hitched without a hitch. Ha ha ha. For today's episode, I have Martha Butler. She is the owner of the French Potager, correct?
Yeah, that's
right.
How we say
it.
You said it correctly.
Yay.
A+ gold star.
The French Potager is a florist located in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. Martha, tell us about your business, how you got started, all of the things. I've read it on the website several times over the years, but tell our listeners.
So it's a lot, you know. French Potager, I originally started that. I guess we are in our 14th year of business now, and originally opened up as an antique shop. And that was to fill the space that I was in. I had been an antique dealer since I was 15 years old.
Wow. Your parents owned one,
My
right?
parents
Or still
were
do?
both. My mom still does it. So it's like their little hobby. But, you know, I grew up going overseas with them to buy and, you know, coming back. So I really had a lot of that, you know, under my belt. So when I got that building, I filled it and been, you know, with vendors in different spaces and rented it out. And, of course, that covered my rent and utilities and everything else that I needed to just have a spot.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I went to, I guess before that, I had gone to like a Hancock Chamber of Commerce, and they had this business workshop. And this woman got up there and she said, "I've owned 15 businesses." And I'm like, 15? What? I thought you were only supposed to own one business. Like, what's happening? And she's like, "I've been very successful." And, you know, she's like, "I encourage you all to write a 5-year plan."
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, 5
Solid
years.
advice.
Yeah.
You hear that a lot.
Like 5 years, that's a long time. Like, at the time I was like 20-something, mid-20s almost. I didn't see myself in 5 years, you know, like 5 years, where will I be? I don't know. So I,
hopefully have the shop, but who
hopefully,
knows?
but I really didn't think I would, to be honest. I always heard like so many people that fail after like first couple of years, and I was very nervous about doing it, and I was very encouraged by like my peers and people in my community. Bay St. Louis is a special place, and very special people there. Very loving, very supportive community to be in, especially if you're an artist. So that was a really, you know, having that kind of uplifting town that I'm in.
A good place for you to be at.
Yeah,
it
felt right. So I started with that. And in my 5-year plan, you know, I was at the time working at a florist, an old florist.
I was going to ask, what started the flowers, like, outside of the antiques?
That's just when you grow up in it. I grew up in this world. This very southern mother, flowers all the time. The florists would come to our house and decorate for Christmas.
Okay.
I followed them around. I was obsessed with them. You know, foliage everywhere. We had a farm. So, you know, you have all of that beauty around you, out in the middle of the woods, constantly cutting flowers for my mom, cutting her flowers, bringing them in and saying, "Oh, look what I've murdered all your plants. Look at this." You know, it was a delight. She's entertained all the time, too.
Right.
Always had parties.
That
and
traditional southern
very southern,
household.
Very southern household, very southern mom. Just, you know, very glamorous. I think, to me, she was a very glamorous person, too. She was like a makeup artist. And, you know, she would go to the Chanel counter and, you know. And so I'd always been around other like vendor type people, makeup artists, hairdressers, all of it, the florists, everybody. So, and I loved them. Oh, I loved them. I followed them around. I had so many questions for them.
That's like even from a young age, you saw the work that they put in.
Yes,
That's
absolutely. Awesome. And more importantly, I think I saw how my mom treated everybody. Graceful, kind, good tipper, always knew what a service was.
Right.
The service was provided, excellent job, thank you note, all the works. I mean, just a beautiful thing to grow up around, really. Yeah. That, of course, I didn't appreciate at all. Oh, no, I did not. I was not into it. But we did sit up on the stairs and listen to their cocktail parties. And we could smell the cigar smoke and, hear the glasses breaking downstairs, everyone having a good time. So, it was a cool world to grow up in.
Right.
And she was very proper, very Emily Post, very Tiffany's Table Manners for Teens. So
I love it.
She was in etiquette school, manner school, that type of person. So, picking your china patterns, picking your silver, all of those things. So it was a cool world to grow up in. And of course, at the time, I never appreciated that. So when I started in with that business, I had the antique deal with the vendors there that paid me rent and et cetera. But I said, on the third year, what if I just write in my little business plan that I'm going to just start selling fresh cut flowers because I already sell furniture. So at the time, this is post-Katrina landscape, and people needed furniture. Okay, so you get a few years into that. People need something to put on top of that furniture.
To decorate the
furniture. Now we have,
right.
Everybody's starting to finish their homes. They're buying homes left and right. I mean,
they want to make it a home now beyond
time. Yeah.
Just furniture laying out.
Exactly. Like they've got their furniture. Now let's make it home again. And to be a part of that has been, I don't know, it's just so enlightening to me. And I always tell people where I am. I left all my problems at the door the minute that I joined that community because everybody else had been through like so much worse than I could ever even imagine.
Right.
So anything that was, I had any trouble, that all went to the wayside because this was a really cool place.
Yeah.
And the people were cool.
Well, and
they survived.
Your upbringing too, I imagine, played a big role in that, and treating now these people in this new community that have been through so much very recently, treating them with grace and respect, and
absolutely
doing all that you can to help them the way that you saw your mom always do for the vendors in and out of your home growing up.
Yeah, just being mindful and graceful and just being supportive of your community. I think it's the biggest, gift that or biggest contribution you could give to.
Right.
So, just growing up and then moving there, I always definitely felt a little different where I grew up. Because, I was in North Alabama is where I'm from. So I felt very different. But then when I moved to Bay St. Louis, I thought,
where have you been my whole life?
I know. I'm not weird. I'm not strange. I'm unique. And these people love it. And so it was just like everything just lined up for me. It went really well. And everybody that I've met there, I don't know. I've been out here, 17 years now, I think, on the coast. Yeah. So, I met my husband and, had the shop. And then the flowers started to come in. And it turns out, I penciled the little 3-year mark in. And I made it through those 2 years. And I went and I worked every day for 2 years. Every day. And I kept a little ledger that would say, January 17th, rain, 2 customers. February 1st, sunny, but 1 customer. I kept an old-fashioned ledger.
That's awesome.
Because I found in the antique business, I found people's ledgers, and that's how they wrote ledgers, so that's what I did.
Yeah.
And so I worked every day except for Christmas Day for 2 years straight. And then I was able to say, okay, I can close on this day, or I need to be open this day. This is what we're going to do.
Regular business hours.
Right. So with that, because I had so many other people in there, I was, I owed it. I felt like I owed it to them to always be there. So I was on their time. And a lot of my dealers, we call them in the business, aged out of it. So they retired. So they either retired, and I even had one that went opened up a new shop, wonderful place, and she does very well there. And then they just kind of aged out. And as they aged out and left, I took their space. So I didn't re-rent it out. So I just kind of crept like ivy into my own building.
Yeah.
And just kind of took the space
you
as
saw
I needed.
where you could grow into it.
Yes,
that makes perfect sense.
It gave me the space to just keep growing, and that's what I do. So I've done that, and now I don't have any other vendors in there. I'm just all flowers. We're a full service flower shop. So that is what we do. We do everything, this whole circle of life, really. Everything from babies today. I got a baby arrangement today. Some days I get the whole circle with wedding, baby, funeral, birthday, anniversary, the whole thing. Yeah. Every bit of it. So it's really cool. And we like to think of it just, we grow with you. We're there with you for life. And a lot of the time, you might not even know we're there.
Right.
We have a lot of people that say, I don't know. I didn't know you were here. And I'm like, well, I've been here for 14 years. But most people don't know until they need us because we're a service. Right. So, and, once you have that concept around it, we are also a retail shop. So we have our little presence on Main Street. So we're involved with all the other merchants as well. So we have that. We have to maintain it. We're open from Monday through Saturday from 10 to 5. And those are the days I work. So I get Sundays off. And that's a very special day for me.
Do you still keep your ledger?
No, I don't have to keep my ledger. I have wrinkles now. And I can tell you, gray hairs and wrinkles are the new ledger for me. So
I love it.
Yes. And, I tell people all the time, they'll call and they'll say, I want this arrangement. I got my wife 5 years ago. And I'm like, I don't know that I'm going to remember exactly what that was unless you traumatized me. Right. And then I will remember you.
I will remember that. You were a very bad customer, sure.
Or that, or, maybe it was something.
Very well.
Maybe it was that, or we had a very positive interaction. Or maybe I just happened to have the most beautiful flowers in the world. And I surprise myself at how many things I do remember about people's arrangements. Yeah.
Well, it's your art also. It is. So that does make a little bit of sense, I think.
It does. So it's just like I just paint pictures all day with flowers. And some of them I really remember. And some I'm like, okay, I'm going to try. Do you have a picture I can maybe go off of?
That'd be the quickest way to get where we need to get.
So, but it is a love. It is a love. And my hand, if my head doesn't remember, maybe my hands will, Yeah. So there's that.
That's a great way to put it. What's your favorite flower?
All of them.
All of them. Kryptonite question.
And maybe I haven't even met my favorite flower yet.
I love that.
So that is a thing. And I will say, I used to, probably maybe 10 years ago, you would hear me say, I don't like a baby's breath, or I don't like a carnation. And then there are going to be these little weenie balls, and they're going to be twice the price of an in-season peony. Oh. So that's kind of a...
I guess that falls back to also being able to align their vision with their budget.
Right.
And I feel like that's probably one of the toughest admin side of things in our world, especially in the flower world.
It is. And I wish that people understood that a little bit better. When you come to us, there's a couple of things I wish you had. Mm-hmm. And it would be, number one, a planner. Please have a planner. Lord, please have a planner. I mean, when your guest count is a certain, number and up, and when your budget is a certain number and up, I think that you're going to need a planner to help you. Just help yourself. So budget
helping
for
yourself, yes.
Yeah.
You are not going to enjoy being engaged.
No, don't make it more stressful than it needs to be. Hire someone that can help you with decisions. because unfortunately, when you come to us, it is part of our job to make certain decisions about your flowers, but not everything. You know, we're not, that needs to be someone that you are actually paying.
And you don't
them
want to turn
do
around
that.
and have to add more stress to the client by asking them a million questions that the planner would have otherwise already provided
Right.
to you.
It's nice to have that person to just be able to not stress you out with all these tiny little questions. Like, hey, where's this table? Oh, are we moving it? You know, that's silly. I
Hey,
don't
sorry,
wanna...
I'm interrupting hair and makeup again.
Yes. Yes. You know, or, you know, oh, we're the worst. The flowers aren't here. And it's like, wait, they are there. But I guess your aunt put them in the refrigerator where she thinks they go. You know, they're there because we just dropped them off. But, you know, maybe this person that is a helper or thought they were helping has put them somewhere that they shouldn't go.
Because they didn't have the instructions
They didn't
that
have
the bride
that.
had.
Yeah.
But the bride's getting ready. She wasn't thinking about distributing those instructions to everybody.
So, you know, that and the budget, I mean, you know, it's a thing. And I do recommend our clients to have like if you're choosing us, which we're hoping you're choosing us because you like our style. If you're down in that deep, you know, if you're into flowers, floral forward, we call it, you know, 10 to 20% of your overall budget. So that way you can wrap your head around it, you know, and that way it won't just floor you, because I don't want to be that person I don't want to be that guy, you know.
Yeah,
I want to be
you're
helpful.
not setting out to do that. You're setting out to create the meaningful moments that they picture in their head.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it just costs money because we live in today's world.
Yeah. And if they're anything like me,
But-
I'm just completely delusional. You know, like, I'm completely delusional. When I think of a vacation, I'm like, let's go to Europe, let's do this.
Right.
And then the reality is that we're going to wind up in a cabin about an hour away from here
Right.
for that
So
weekend.
you being that way, you have to reel yourself back in to reel them back in.
Takes one to know one, okay? So you're not out there alone, delusional people. I am here. I'm right up in the ranks with you. Yes, I mean, I get it. I understand. Like, I also have all these like high hopes, but the lottery has not provided for me yet. I'm still waiting.
Well, I even feel like just in the flower world, like a florist vendor for weddings, like when I have a full service client that's hired me to source all their vendors for them, not just coordination where they book it all themselves, I try to give them reasonable budget ranges, because I'm asking, what's your budget for your DJ? What's your budget for food? What's your budget for flowers? And then they're like, I don't know, I've never done this before. So I try to give them ranges that they would typically fall between, but I also have to have a little bit of an understanding because, $1,000 is a regional budget for wedding florals, depending on what you're picturing in your head that you want. So I need to know a little bit more information to even start to give you a range to begin to expect when we start getting these quotes from potential vendors.
Right.
Because they're going to give you an estimate.
Yes.
They're not going to give you a hard and fast number by any means. They're going to give you an estimate. But getting that out of the client's head sometimes is so difficult because they don't even yet know
They don't.
what they want.
You know, and we have a section on our intake form, which you can find on our website. I don't know how so many people don't find it. It alarms me
It's just
a little, but
human nature. People don't read.
you know, I love a phone call though.
Read.
I love a phone call. Call me up. Call me. I want to talk. I'm a 90s girl. I want to talk on that phone forever.
It can be so much more efficient.
You know, I love a phone call. I love when people call me up. I am going to get your email. I'm going to get some specs for your day just to see if I'm available. You know, there's always that. That's never the first question, though. It's usually, you know, it's like, well, hold on. Let me check my calendar. You know, let me make sure that I can do this for you. And if I can't, I'm going to send you to someone that I think you're going to vibe with. I'm going to pick, you know, who I think is going to be the best fit too, based on what you've given me.
Right.
But go to the intake form, and you're going to have a section. It's right there. What's your budget? like, what's our budget for this? And then, or I just don't know because I am not used to this.
Just call me and let's talk about it.
Or, I think I have it to where I'm not sure how much flowers cost. And that's totally fine. Like, why would you know how much they... I don't know how much they cost either sometimes because it's a market. It fluctuates, high, low. Prices are different. I mean, it can fluctuate a big time, especially with all the tariffs and all those things happening right now. It does fluctuate. I mean, and it fluctuates on such a global level, it would blow your mind. If it rains too much, and say it rains too much in Ecuador and washes the mountainside down and floods the peony fields, the peony price just goes through the roof. But we don't think about that. If and if the indigenous people decide to riot in Ecuador and they get on the tarmac of where the planes are and block all the shipping, the price, first of all, the flowers aren't coming.
So this is a great answer to my question of what do you wish more clients understood drove your prices?
And I don't even feel like they need to take on the stress of the shipping and all the stuff that we see. I mean, even today,
just understanding that there's fluctuations beyond
anything I can control.
Exactly.
I mean, it's crazy to me. So I don't promise you a flower. Now I'll get you to give me a few favorites, but I've just been in this too long to ever say, yes, we will have your white peonies for your wedding. Of course we will. And then not, and then there I am trying to make you a peony. Which you can do.
I was going to say, how often do you have to?
Never, because I don't do that anymore. I've learned to not promise specific things.
Right.
Another thing, Lily, let's talk about Lily of the Valley, because that is one of my biggest requests. Lily of the Valley is a beautiful flower. And yes, if we owned a castle and we had our own English garden, and our gardeners grew Lily of the Valley just for our bridal bouquet, wouldn't it be the best? It sure would. Unfortunately, Lily of the Valley is highly toxic. And we didn't know how toxic it was until our beloved pets started dying in our yards. And we're like, what is killing them? Lily of the Valley. All that Lily of the Valley planted around Grandma's oak tree has killed her Yorkies. Multiple Yorkies now. And now we're just figuring it out because we happened to be out there when he was munching on it. And then, next thing we've got kidney failure.
Right.
So that's how we kind of found out that's a very toxic flower. And people don't want to grow that anymore for us. And a lot of the time when they used to grow it, it was out of somebody's yard. It was not always available in a mass market. Mm-hmm. So people don't know. When you want that tiny little, very delicate flower, by the way, very delicate, so delicate, it will literally flop right over in a couple of days sometimes. I mean, it just depends on...
And you can't control if it's going to flop over the day that you get it?
I can't do that, but I will use the best practices in floral care and care and handling that I can for that very particular flower. Unfortunately, that makes a very high dollar flower. Mm-hmm. And if you were to say, I'm going to get this little bouquet, it's going to be 5 inches in, circumference, and it's $600, what? It's because all of that is so expensive because it's not widely available on the floral market anymore. I know your mama had it in the 80s. Great. But that was before
markets
it was killing pets, Right. Well, she also had bullet roses. You don't want that either, and stephanotis, which is something now we have to get it it comes in waxed and it's very strange. Gardenia's another one, that is I can handle it though because I'm seasoned at what I do and I know how to take care of them. But each one of them is very expensive. Mm-hmm. So, we see a lot of that come through. Magnolias. Yes. And now look, there have been times at the right time that I could tell the week of that my magnolia is going to open up perfectly on your wedding day. But it's going to turn brown and, expire in a few hours. but let's make it happen if we have to have it. And I will climb up a 10-foot ladder and cut that magnolia out of that tree. And I have done that about at least 3 times in my career for your bridal bouquet, and run in and made it that morning, and it survived until through your photos and your wedding. However,
it was drowned by your reception.
I don't think that 40-year-old me can do that now. You know, that was like 27-year-old me.
And how much would that cost? Like, that's a whole nother, like, layer,
I mean, whatever
you know?
it did cost, it definitely wasn't enough.
Right.
Since at least 2 of the
But it's
times
a magnolia.
I was in the back
There's
of a
magnolia
truck.
trees everywhere. Why does it cost what it costs?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm putting ladders in the back of trucks and climbing up to the magnolia tree to cut your blossom for you. So it's a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and they don't realize we really try to do that for you. We try to make it happen.
Yeah.
That is you're our priority.
Well, and you know the investment they're making.
Yes,
they know
I
the
do.
investment that they're
Yeah.
making, and so of course you're going to break your back to
Yeah.
fulfill what they see in their head to the best of your ability, and ideally those things can begin to align, and they can get that, they can grasp that. Like, okay, she's not a magician.
Right. Not a magician. I wish I
She
was.
can't control the weather. Like,
No.
I've hired this person. I need to trust this person. They
Right.
have my best interests at heart, truly.
Yeah. And that's what we're there to do. I mean, it's your day. I am bound to that contract, and I will be there, and I will do the very best I can for you
Yeah.
as my client. And that is, I think we're all very dedicated to doing that. All of us vendors are.
How do you build that trust with them? Is that just communication? I mean, what does that look like, especially when you have clients that question, like, well, can you do my vision? Like,
I guess I don't always have to. I think the trust is a lot of the time built because I can answer their questions with authority. I'm very confident in the answers that I give. If I don't know something, I will research it all night long to know it. But I'm very confident in my ability to answer their questions and to give them an accurate answer.
Right.
So I think they know pretty quickly that, hey, this person knows what they're doing.
Talking about.
You know, I do have people that haven't done their research, and I do implore anybody when they're hiring any type of service to research. You know, you can go online and look at pictures.
What makes a good service provider in this
But
category?
please don't make me send pictures to you when they're all there, you know, and just know that if there is a picture that I can pretty likely do that, you know, create that for you too. But do I want to spend 2 hours going through the last 20 years of my life to find the pictures that let me tell you, I probably didn't take them that day because I'm too busy and focused on getting it done, getting the job done.
In today's digital world as well, just a quick, if you've Googled to find my name and phone number, click images and you'll see all of my work, or Facebook
research.
or Instagram, or all of the numerous platforms that can get you information immediately.
Yeah. Instead of, you know, and everybody sees everything so differently too.
Very true.
I can tell someone immediately when they will say these keywords, I'm a visual person. So that tells me right there, I cannot send you a shape of a bouquet unless that bouquet is exactly the colors of your color scheme. You know, if you wanted and it has exactly, because I know what's going to happen.
You're going to see it and
you're
think,
going to
that's
say,
not right.
That's not right. She doesn't know what I'm looking for at all because those are roses. And I said, I didn't like roses. You know, that happens. That's a thing. That happens to all of us. But so I know that if I do have to, you know, send you your own inspiration picture, that's not going to work. That typically doesn't work.
Right.
Because I'm not, I don't know, I'm not a visual person. I am a visual person. I can see the complete picture. I can see it without it being done.
But that comes from your extensive knowledge base,
It sure does.
And so this person who doesn't have that knowledge base, how they can't envision it because they've never seen it before, and you have.
Yeah. And it's a thing, and I can see it. I've already imagined it. I've landscaped it in my head for you.
Right.
And let me do it just let me do it, let me do this for you. And
Trust
it
me,
will
please.
be the less that you are, in trying to interfere or influence,
Right.
the better it's going to be.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times that I have caught my team going extra on these weddings, and I let them go. I let them in there, and I let them go, because here's the product. This has all been, we've got it. I tell them, I give it to them. I said, just go for it. Because if you want to go and you want to pop flowers around photos on a memorial table, you just go for it. Make it look great, and don't leave until it's done.
Right, taking that extra step, going that extra mile, that is also what speaks volumes. Like, oh, nope, you didn't pay for that. I'm not.
Right.
No, I have 3 extra roses. Why am I not going to use them?
But if we've beat that contract to death and that proposal to death, I am going to have to count pennies. I will be having to count this, but I love to just say, y'all go for it. Here's a bucket.
Yeah.
Here's a miscellaneous bucket. 10 out of 10 recommend buying a miscellaneous bucket, because you never know when we get there what you might need decorated.
Yeah.
That now is just going to look naked.
Oh, okay. How do you handle that creep of the boundaries that you are contracted to do? Like, at what point are you like, okay, absolutely not? I know that's going to float. That answer is going to say, well, it varies event to event.
My staff is going to say never. She's just going to do it anyway. That's what they're going to tell you, because they know I'm just like a
scope,
pleaser, So I've learned all my little lessons, not all of them. Gosh, I know there's more out there. Lord, please don't give me any more today. But so, I've learned a lot of lessons. And so I have to set boundaries, and I set them pretty quickly. My first thing that I did, I guess after I had my child, that was the worst, I will tell you.
Same.
That right there, that changed everything about my business completely. When I was pregnant, I had hyperemesis. I don't know. That's when you just throw up all the time. You're sick all the time, every day, 100 times a day. It's real great, You get dehydrated, and you're just like, oh, why did I do this?
The most miserable.
Yeah, and every smell, you smell all the people's perfume. You're just nauseous, cigarette nauseous. I mean, everything. And so I had that, and so I had my business phone. Was my phone, because I am the business. We're one. I'm one with the business, and it's me, and I am the business. It's crazy. Terrible mentality.
It is.
And so I used to have that. It was my only line to me. And one morning, someone called me at 3:42 a.m. for the shop, and I answered, and I'm like, French Potager, just like, oh my gosh, 3:42 in the morning, sounding like a goblin. And they were like, oh my God, I was just going to leave a message. And I'm like, it's a small business, baby. This is how it goes. And then
Send me an email.
So sick. I was so sick after that, because, I'm not answering the phone, because I'm thinking, someone called me that late. They need a ride. It's an emergency.
You're not even looking.
It was to place a flower order. And so
wow.
That was it. And I was sick the rest of the morning. I couldn't go back to bed. It was a nightmare. So I got a business life coach. And she said, get a new phone for yourself and leave that phone at the shop. I said, leave it at the shop. But what if someone has a flower emergency after 5 p.m.? And she's like, trust me, that's not a thing, That's not a thing. And I'm like, oh, it is.
It is. My mother used to have them.
Yeah, right? Like, it is a thing. I do know this. So that was like the first boundary I ever had was I got a new phone number. And then, I don't know, whatever happened, like, I gave my husband, like, an old phone. I don't know, but people would call him. So then he was my secretary for, like, a year, 2, 3, still is. Sometimes he still gets phone calls from me. I love it. So, that was the first thing. If I get too many people that get my personal number, then I change phone numbers again. So I do love it. It's kind of exciting.
The liberation.
The freedom of like, oh, I changed the number and you don't know it. You can't get me now. I'm gone. But if you do need me, I'm available 10 to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. If you need to find me, I'm typically there. So that was the first boundary. The next thing was that came naturally with having the baby. I mean, I'm wearing her. I was at work in my house 3 days after I had her. standing there in the kitchen in my adult diaper, making corsages for prom. So yeah, I know that was happening. And then I ended up, wedding consultation. It's spring when I had her. I'm falling behind. What do? I'm falling behind. I can't answer all of these. I'm losing weddings left and right. I haven't slept. You don't sleep for the first.
I know I'm hurting myself.
Yeah, like I
healing.
can't. Why can't I get back to this person? Still waddling around. My insides have completely forget it. They're not coming back. So that was a nightmare. And so I'm like looking at my email, and they're like, I've reached out twice, and I'm like, whoa. How did I miss it? It's all a blur.
Do you want me to send you a picture of me in the hospital with my child?
Right.
And here's my selfie holding my newborn.
I finally
Does
just
that
said,
give you any pause?
No, and it's not an excuse, and I didn't even want them to know.
Right.
It wasn't, because to them, it's
I know
not.
exactly what
they
you
would
mean.
never know. And a friend of mine always said, just be a duck. Be a duck. Yeah, just still on that surface. You're just floating around, but you're battling like crazy underneath.
Yeah.
So I'm a duck all the time, 24/7. And so I invested in HoneyBook, which, this is not a plug for HoneyBook unless they want to pay me.
Just a proper CRM.
Yeah, just any kind of CRM. And that helped me a lot. And then it started to get crazy. I mean, stuff was just coming in left and right. Yeah. And so then I heard the best thing ever was a Caitlin. And Caitlin, you will see.
I know a Caitlin.
Caitlin, and Caitlin has been a godsend for me. It has really freed me up at the shop to where I can operate that business and still maintain the other, because they don't necessarily go hand in hand until the weekend.
Right.
And then the weekend that we blend them. But before that, I've got my team at the shop, and they don't mess with the wedding stuff. They will take your name and your number and your email and send you the intake. They send that to Caitlin,
right.
And then Caitlin sends you that. But that allowed me to increase my business, essentially.
Just furthering investing in it.
Right. I invested in it, and then I saw the results from it. My booking rate went from like 40% to over 80%.
Wow.
And I had before Caitlin, there was an Alec, and Alec was my main dude, and he was the one, but he did move to Houston.
Oh.
R.I.P. Alec, we miss you. And he was great, and he was, and it takes a certain type of person that will almost stand there with a shield in front of you, and just like block all of this pressure.
Nope, I've got it.
I've got it. Yes,
that's what your planner does
yes.
writing.
And so effectively, I never really know what to call that role, but I guess we call it like our floral coordinator or our wedding coordinator on our end. I don't know what to call it. Wedding floral coordinator, because now I see there's a lot of coordinators, and then everyone's like, I have a coordinator, and it's like, no, you don't. That's a venue coordinator.
Catering,
it is
floral,
different. You've got lots of. You need one.
Which one?
Planner, or a day, a month of.
Yes, day of.
Day of does not. It's not real. That's not a real thing, guys. It's not. I've been there, done that. I've been there and done that.
That's impossible. You're just causing more stress.
It's terrible. So I think I used to also do coordinating.
Really?
I used to participate in that and dabbled in that because I'm dependable. I will say that
you're not going to say no or let things fall through the cracks.
And I'm going to be there anyway. No, not in that capacity. That was a lot.
Those are boundaries that I have had to learn. No, you didn't hire me to set up all your tables and chairs. No, you didn't hire me to finish putting together your fake floral arrangements.
And look, we got it. It's all on this piece of paper,
But am I going to let it fail?
No.
So what?
So
that creep of scope, inevitably we face it.
Right, we do. Now, yes, I have been accused of going out and helping people move parking barricades, even though while my staff is trying to physically remove me from the event because that is not my job. Because I will say it is a big pet peeve of mine to walk into a place and they're like, that's not my job. That's not what I do. okay, but we're all in this together.
Right.
And if we maybe like all plug the lights in, or if we all do this together, and we just got to get it done.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're going to hate all of us. You know,
Right.
that's another thing. So where do you find it? I don't know. Maybe at the bottom of a beer. I don't know at this point. Because
agree.
I'm not really sure. I wish that I was better at that. And if I didn't have Caitlin to kind of help me
Pull
do
you
that,
back.
she's a Leo and I'm a Cancer, so she's like the best about that. She will say no.
Yeah.
She will say, no, we will not do this, Martha.
The word no doesn't hurt either.
Right,
It's-
right.
I mean,
So it's a thing. I'm a
it is.
pushover a lot of the time. I'm a people pleasing pushover a lot of the time. So I employ people to help me with that, because all I want is for you to have the best day ever.
right.
I don't, my day, I'm not thinking about it so much. I'm not
Yeah.
thinking about my family's day. I'm not thinking about my child's day or her recital that I'm missing in that moment. But I'm thinking about it after, when I get in the car and I leave. Like, oh my gosh, I missed all of that.
I just devoted all of my energy.
For what? And
Yeah.
then what's the monetary, how can I weigh this out? I have to profit. So there's that. That's a big deal in our industry. I think a lot of us, we want to please everybody. We're natural people pleasers.
You don't want to be the reason that somebody's special occasion went wrong.
Yeah. But we always say we want to please everybody, but that needs to include ourselves.
Yes.
And so are we profiting? That's a big question. And I have to ask myself that every quarter. That's something that you need to review as a business owner every quarter. Am I profiting from this?
And if
Did
I'm
I
not,
profit?
where do I adjust?
Where do I change? Where do I make that change if I'm not profiting? Because if you're not profiting, then you're going to burn out. And I can tell you that almost 5 years ago, I almost burned out.
Really?
Big time. Big time. I was so tired. Like, I had a 2-year-old. That's a tough one with the sleeping. Whew. So no sleep, just felt like, I had gone through the COVID. Oh my gosh, that mess. Been through
Trying
all
to
that.
get the business back out of that.
I finally found my golden girl, KK, who's a freelance designer.
Okay.
And she came in, and that allowed me to just, not make 40 centerpieces that all night long and stay till midnight. There were nights we were getting out at 7 o'clock, and we were high-fiving on the way out the door.
Time?
It was everything that I needed at the time, because I was having that hard time adjusting to the child and the motherhood and everything with that.
Well,
So
at that 2-year mark, too, coming out of that postpartum.
Yes. I mean, it was quite the adjustment. So everything has been, and now I'm in a better place, where I don't have to have somebody always, because my child can thankfully, not really feed herself, but she can go get a snack. She can go to the bathroom sometimes, whatever she's doing, she can do it.
Right.
Like, I'm not having to helicopter all the time. And she helps me. She's super helpful.
She's going to want to do all the flowers.
I don't
Either
think
that
she
or she's
will.
going
I
to
think
want
she's
nothing
gonna,
to do with
yeah,
them.
feel like, Mom, that robbed my childhood. So, no. So, either way, if she wants, I will support her in whatever decision she makes, unless it's a terrible one. So,
Right.
I think she's really into it right now. But I wonder later what she's going to be saying in therapy about her mom. So, I will say that we don't get to do Saturday activity. It's a different family structure
It
too.
is, definitely.
My husband's also an executive chef. So we are an event family. We already know we're not going to get to celebrate a holiday on that day.
Right.
That is always kind of something we already know. So we have our own special days after that holiday. Birthdays are tough. It's every weekend we have a wedding.
All
and
the Saturdays
yeah,
are gone.
every Saturday there's not going to be any league soccer, because we can't take
Right.
you. So there's just little things that I don't think you realize until you're into this, how much it affects that in your children too. But there's fun ways and creative ways that you can do to kind of mitigate all of that.
Yeah.
And so we do it, So we end up having the a great time with each other and making space for that for each other. So that's kind of a difficult thing. And same with my staff and my team. You know, they have to sacrifice a lot to do this.
Well, and even when they, I guess, initially even apply for a position, do you have an understanding of what you're applying for? It's not always going to be just a normal, 8 to 5 job. You're going to work. You're going to put these arrangements together. You're going to be at events on Saturdays. How is that going to affect your family, your spouse, your children at home?
Yeah.
Getting them to think through those things. Ideally, they have thought about that as before they apply for the job.
I don't think they did.
Some
I
people
don't think any of us did. I will say most of my team has been with me for a long time. I can tell you none of us knew that we were going to blow up the way we did. And we were not ready for it. And even my customer base. I'm so happy that most of my customer base is still my customer base.
Right.
Because of the way I started, they've just had to watch me grow. And, it's not always,
adapt with you.
like I pray that they adapt with me and the changes, where it used to be you could just like walk in and I had all the flowers around the shop and it was cute and it was like France, Paris, a Parisian flower shop, pick your own stems. Now it's just like, wait, but we can't sell that to you because it's for a wedding, like it kind of changed the dynamic between that. And, a lot of people are like, good, this means you're busy. And, and that's great.
I mean, I say that to people sometimes when, oh, I'm so sorry I've been so busy. Or, no, I'm not available on that date. I'm too busy. Busy's not a bad thing.
Right. I just, all my
friends,
friends,
too. How are you managing it?
Yeah, like, what do we do with that? Our
Yes.
social life. People like to do things on the weekends. They like to go out. They do things on Saturdays.
And all of my, main closest friends, they're school teachers, they're CPAs.
Yeah, right. It's true. And I just have to say, like, I'm still here. I'm here. Please don't not invite me.
Just how it
even though
affects
I can't come.
your life. And also, even your spouse, like him being in a service industry and a service role as well, plays a big part. Mine is not.
Yeah.
And he's off on the weekends, and he works seasonally, and
That's
so
good.
we are like passing ships in the night sometimes.
Sometimes it's like that. It is.
I'm not going to see you this weekend because you're off of work and I got work. I've been home all week with the kids.
And we're never off at the same time.
Right.
We might have an afternoon on a Sunday off together. That's it.
While you're recovering from the event the day
While I'm recovering, in full recovery, and just sitting there in a half coma at that point, just trying to recover. No, you would think that I do that. It's so crazy. I'm so crazy. Sundays is like manual labor day for me. It is the only day. What's the only day that I can clean my house? I do my chicken chores. I garden. I'm a big gardener. I love to garden. And I love my chickens. So Sunday is like, what is this crazy person doing?
Well, it's got to get done, doesn't it?
I guess it does. But, like, why am I like I'm so project oriented. So why am I out here trying to build this like mega compost bin or this fish cleaning sink or this giant garden that was supposed to only be 4x4, but now it's 20 feet long,
Right.
Why am I out here doing this manual labor? And then I go into work super tired. If I could just like bed rot all day on Sunday, that would probably be what they would prescribe me at the doctor. I can't do it.
Making yourself do it, yeah.
I love to get up. If I'm telling you, I love to get up and I love to get at it.
Me and my husband recently had a trip, actual vacation, and we laid in the bed for like 4 hours one day.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I've done this in years. Definitely not since having kids.
Yeah. When that happens, I'm like on death's doorstep. So it's a thing for me.
It was wild.
I can't stop in my brain. I can't stop my brain. I just can't stop. I'm always got a project. So I'm always trying to do some fun stuff and fun for me and the chickens. So, we're getting to it. We're doing stuff in the yard. I'm building all this stuff on Sundays. It's a great day for me. Or I'm going into work on Sunday to do a Monday funeral, which is like another thing.
To get ahead.
To
get ahead. Always that rat race.
Yes. I guess my dad used to say, you can sleep when you're dead. So I guess that's the plan. So, yeah, I guess I'll be doing that. But, yeah, I even do, like...
How do you manage that with not getting burnt out, though?
I mean, it's coming. It'll come. It'll happen. It'll happen. But I think the hobbies...
Keeping your boundaries.
The hobbies help. The chickens are a hobby.
Right.
The garden is a hobby. So I think that was, something that has helped me not spiral into that just complete burnout. And also just like, even when I do go back on Mondays, it's like, here's the flowers, and oh my gosh.
And I love flowers.
And it's like rinse and repeat. Yeah. So, I definitely get burned out sometimes. And like I said, I have a great team.
So that business coach
she was
number
great,
one
man.
person.
I think she's in Gulfport now. Laurie Johnson, life coach. She really turned me around. So even just with little things, she was like, "Oh, you can journal." I'm like, "I'm not journaling. I'm not a journaler." No. But she was like, "Okay, then you have to do some action items," and that's what I did. And I followed her advice, and I was able to kind of do it all. But now I'm at work and mom and chickens and garden, and then repeat that. And I'm kind of like, I've hit like a rhythm, to where I can do it. And I don't bite off more than I can chew most months, I will say. Even though I say I will not have a holiday wedding, we're all going to eat Thanksgiving. That's a lie. Because I'm going to know it's so-and-so's best friend's daughter. Yeah. I've got to do it.
I've done that every year with Cruise in the Coast. I'm not doing a Cruise in the Coast wedding next year.
Yeah. Boom. Every time. Valentine's Day. I will not do a Valentine's Day wedding unless it's like an elopement at the courthouse, or unless it's like this much. Did you do one
this year? Yes.
So
Valentine's Day was a Saturday this year.
It was a Saturday, but guess what? I had a Lundi Gras wedding on Monday morning. The day started at 8 a.m. was the first part of that delivery. The wedding was at 10 a.m.
Wow.
Again, but it was my neighbor's daughter's third wedding.
Yeah.
So I had to do it, which was, and
that's that community coming
to
bite you
so
in
that's
the
the
butt.
problem. I know everybody, so I'm gonna do all the weddings, but I do have to turn them down. Unfortunately, there's some I just have to turn down. My own little cousin's wedding. I had to turn down that because I already had one.
But also having your vendor network they're trusted florists that you trust, that you talk to, that you vent to, that you can send them to, and you're happy to.
Absolutely. Weddings are. All of it is just, you're going to get the look, and they always know they can call me if they need anything, call me if you need to know anything, just let me know. I'll, help you.
I'll give you whatever resource I can give you. Absolutely. I just can't physically do it all myself.
Absolutely. I always want to be like an open door for people because again, like even my staff knows when I leave on that Friday night, I tell them, if I die in my sleep tonight, complete the contract. That's all. We are contracted.
I think about that so much.
Yeah,
would my husband be able to figure out what upcoming clients we have?
Would they? And I've already got like this, designer on tap, and just in case, I'm like, you got to complete the contract. And if you don't, I'm just gonna haunt you and go complete the contract. Fulfill it.
True.
Yeah, all the time, and it's important to me. To a part where it almost makes me feel like mentally ill, because I will say nobody should be as contract complete crazy as I am. I do caution against it. When my father passed away, it was a Friday or Saturday.
Oh, no.
And I had 2 events. And the first event I didn't tell my staff or anything. I just went in and I did normal. The event. Oh no, I did not my driver
what's wrong
Jessica,
with her?
She handed me a coffee and I just started crying, and she was like, "Oh gosh, okay," because I just really needed that coffee. And they read my mind all the time. They read my mind. They're so good. I'm telling you, to get to the flow that we all have. They have to read my mind.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of the time, because I get decision fatigue pretty quick after a whole week of it. So, it was like we did that, and I didn't tell her until we were on our way back from like cleaning it up or whatever. And then the next day I had another wedding, and I had to do that one too, so I didn't have any help for that one. Everyone was out of town too. I knew he was going to pick a wedding day to die on. I just knew it was going to happen with my family. Let's inconvenience this one, as much as we can. I mean, it sticks to me that day. And I told myself I would never expect anybody to ever, don't do this.
Like, I'll be mad at you if you do this.
10 out of 10 don't recommend suffering through this. But that I was like, I had to capitalize on the shock, because that shock was something. So I don't know that I regret it, because, again, I'm so, like, you've got to fulfill the contract.
Yeah.
Because that contract it took me a long time to build that contract.
Do you have things in it? What's something in it that
I mean, the zombie apocalypse part. No, I'm kidding. But yes, there is like, it covers me. I've had a lot of attorneys
like where clients look at it and go, "Why? What is that for?"
Yes, especially the attorney clients that I get, and I appreciate them because it's like every time they have a free edit, I'm like, "Oh, thank you. That was a $500 edit on that." So I appreciate your time on overseeing this contract. Thank you. So yes, I've done a lot of weddings for attorneys, which is like terrifying to send your contract out to an attorney, especially if they're like a contract attorney. But they're very helpful in making it, do right for them. So you have to be very careful with that. And honestly, that now is pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's a good one. I've probably had 3-4 attorneys now dissect it, and it's done pretty well, and it covers me and it covers my client too.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure with those contracts that you want to cover yourself, but you have to cover your client too.
Right. Well, the purpose is to ensure that everybody is protected.
Right, for everybody.
In the best way possible on all fronts. And I mean,
Yes.
if your vendor's contract is not doing one of those things, then there's a problem. That's a red flag.
It is a red flag, But I think that we have to go back through occasionally to look at like COVID language. That was but still, I don't want to remove it because now that you've been through it, who knew? So it's in there. I keep it just in case.
I see it all the time. I mean, I see it in
I kept it because
most contracts
now
I read.
that came about in March, and I had a couple of brides that just refused to cancel. And after saying like, y'all need to cancel this, I don't think they're gonna let you do it in your venue. And
I had just gotten engaged actually.
Yeah.
And our wedding was the following year.
Yeah.
So COVID was in the middle.
It was a rough and tough time, and I'll tell you, it was one of the things that really, I'm glad that I got to have the time to put that in perspective.
Right.
So I'm glad I was able to shore up my contract, but you've got to remember that, that's a piece of paper in black and white, and I am a person.
Right.
So even though I have that contract, that doesn't always mean that I am going to be nose to nose with that contract.
A little communication goes
a little bit of communication. If I have worked 7 hours on clerical for your wedding, and then your future husband, is getting deployed, let me tell you what, we're going to make sure that we're taking care of you.
Just talk to me.
Yes. So I always try to be very approachable in that. I don't want to just be summed up on that piece of paper because it is a legal document, but I'm just a person and I want to help you too.
Showing them grace.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of things that happen that are unforeseeable for clients too, and sad sometimes. So we always try to, work with them with that. And just like I said, communication.
Yeah.
Communication, I think,
that's going to be one of my merchandise pieces.
Yeah, it is. It really is key. And now I think we're starting to see a lot of that just kind of shift. I'd like to think it's not dead, but it's shifting in a way, I think, that we're going to have to, figure out how to manage that. Because, I mean, I don't know about you, but I get ghosted. And getting ghosted is a terrible feeling. It is not something that I was prepared for, I guess, because of the phone call here. I love a phone call.
Or like you were talking about your intake form on the website, and that you wish people saw that. And even the way that, was it Gen Z now that's getting old enough to
it's all
start
of them.
getting
I'm not
married.
even gonna. Yeah,
it
doesn't matter how old
like,
they are. They all ghost me sometimes.
Or they want to be able to get their information immediately up front, everything that I need to know. I use photography as an example of that. Like, I need to be able to click on your website and immediately find how much it's going to be for how many hours. And if I can't see that, I'm clicking away in the first 15 seconds that I got on your website.
Yeah.
They want it quick, and they want it fast, and they want it right then. Yeah. And that's not been the standard in the industry for a lot of years.
No, it used to be like 3 weeks maybe before you could even get back to somebody. Sometimes,
back and forth. Let me have a better understanding. Like, somebody wants me to plan their wedding. Okay, I have a starting point for a planning package, but I need to know: do we need to hire 20 vendors, or is it 10 vendor elopement at the visitor center, or 3 vendor elopement at the visitor center? Like.
Right.
Those are 2 very different types of planning.
It is.
Even just from my perspective, and it's a conversation.
It is.
And trying to get them to stop and have that conversation. I imagine you get a lot of pushback on the questions that you want to know, to be able to understand who they are as a person and what their likes and dislikes.
I will say, I feel like our intake form is very involved, but I do try to prep them when I actually get to talk to them. I do try to prep them and say, like, this is very detailed and very involved, and I understand that we're a year out and you might not have all the answers to those questions, but please do fill them out as best as you can. And then get back to us. And I'll tell you, our process is I don't know if our process is different or what what is it about it, but the process is for us as much as it is for our clients. So to keep me, I'm an artist. I'm all over. I am designing. To keep you in line. Then I have, and to keep me, on task, I have Caitlin, who is you're going to fill out that form online. It's a short form. And the first one you fill out is like your date, how many guests, where it is, right?
Information you need to be forthcoming with if you want accurate information.
Yeah, to see if I'm even available.
Right.
And then if I'm like, okay, I am available, or it could be I already have something that day, but it's a smaller one, maybe I can take you on. Here is the other one. Very detailed, terrifying. You're not going to know it all. It's okay, though. It's totally fine. It says that at the top, but I think they miss it. And then you're going to fill that out and you're going to submit it to me. And I'm hoping you're sitting down with the person who's like footing the bill for everything and communicating with them too.
Right.
Because, we don't want, by this time while you're filling that out, you've got to understand, like, you're investing time. And now you're on an hour clock too. Right. So now we've got that. So then we've got the intake form. We fill that out, submits. Caitlin gets it. She automatically goes and says, let's schedule an appointment on the phone consultation. I love to meet in person. However, I own a retail shop. It's very busy. I don't know who's going to walk through that door. I don't know if it's going to be 8 people that are about to bury their grandmother. I don't know. I can't have you there right then. I wish I had my own little.
Well, and what those guys have going on too, trying to coordinate multiple people's schedules.
It's
really
very
difficult.
tough. So our process is that now you have your own person to talk to. We have set aside your own time, and we have Caitlin, and she's going to set up a phone consultation for you, and hopefully you will make that phone consultation and you answer that phone call. Because another thing that I think people need to realize is now you're on our time. Now sometimes do charge for consultations in person so that we can set aside and I can personally devote the time to you. And that goes into your proposal. You don't lose that completely unless you just hate us and you don't book with us. I mean, totally get it. But yeah, or ghosty. And
that's on you at that point.
Look, all those ghosts haunt me. Those little ghosters, they haunt me so bad. It drives me crazy. I feel like by this time, if you are getting married, you're about to sign a heavenly and earthly contract, and you need to be a grown-up at this point and learn how to communicate.
No, thank you.
Yes. Or, hey, we're going a different direction. That's fine. Okay, but just tell me, because if not, I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you up. I'm going to call you and tell you got to say it to me. It's a thing. It's a thing. You've got to do it. You've got to be a big
There's no
kid and
reason
do
not
it.
to.
I know it's hard to say, oh, well, it was just not the right fit, or I just absolutely hate you. It's fine. You can tell me that.
The word
I'm
no
tough.
doesn't hurt, remember?
I'm tough. We can handle it. Caitlin's going to call you. She's going to schedule you that phone call. I hope you answer, because Caitlin's got a babysitter now that she's paying to take your phone call.
Right.
That's right, ghosts. Caitlin pays a babysitter so she can have the time during her day to take your phone call.
Yep.
And when you don't answer that phone, Caitlin's hired somebody to go watch her kids so she can take your phone call and come all the way up there to take it with me, What a waste of time when you don't answer that phone, or, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot, whatever. We always try to hope that you treat it like a doctor's appointment. Like, we're going to be there. We're showing up, So there's some things with that I think we fight, and then we kind of know right out the gate, is this client for us?
Right.
Are they going to be mindful of our time as much as we're mindful of theirs? I mean, we don't even need to be, trust me, we don't need to be as much as we are minding your time. We need to just give a little bit. Just show up for that, or call us and reschedule, so Caitlin doesn't lose $100 on a babysitter.
Or a little bit of notice. Or, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Somebody called me at that time. Yeah. And I couldn't get off the phone with them. Just anything. A little pigeon, whatever. Yeah, it does. And I wish you well in your marriage if you can't communicate, because that's like... Right.
I hope you hone that skill a little better with them, because it does. I think that's one of the hot button issues right now, just in our industry in general, is I think we want this quote, but I get it all the time. How much is the wedding? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. It's about as loaded as a baked potato. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really, depends on so many things. Here's our form. Fill it out. Get on a call with us. 30 minutes, an hour, whatever, up to an hour, not over, hopefully. And unless it's giant, of course, we're here for you. But yeah, we speak to them about 30 minutes to an hour. And we all want to make sure that we're simpatico. We all want to make sure we're the best person for each other. And if it's somebody that's like, okay, for example, we know our numbers. Everybody has a number. So if you are getting married an hour away, and we have a number for that, we know how much will it take to get all of your stuff there, how many people it's going to cost, take to do that, how much that's going to cost. We've got that number. So it's just one of those things that we know.
Well, wait, that's over our budget. Okay, well, then we're not the right fit.
Then, maybe a pickup. And then if we can't make that compromise, how else can we help you? Maybe send you to someone else that's closer, save some money. So it's tough. I hate to say no to anybody, but I want to say yes on them having the best day of their lives. So it might even mean, it might even mean I'm not the one. Right. And that's okay. I mean, that's no skin off my nose.
That's the goal, is to have the best day, the best celebration, whatever it is. So, just do the things to get to that point.
And we hope that we absolutely always hope that we're the one, and that we line up and everything's great, and that you come in with that thing filled out and we've got it. And then Caitlin and I, after that, we work on that proposal typically, unless we have more to do, but usually within less than a week, you have that proposal. And
So
you
you've
can
again
go
spent
through
more
it.
of your time on the back end putting that together.
Absolutely.
For
For
them.
nothing, too. We do this for free or just for the hope that we're going to get this gig. And a lot of people don't understand that.
Right.
That we typically, by the time we've sent you an itemized proposal, it depends on what you selected. On our intake form, if you selected, the box that says, you're the one, we want you because we love your work, we're going to send you an itemized proposal because we can tell by you selecting that you are as invested as us as we are, in us as we are with you. So we're ready. Itemized proposal. If you select something like, I don't know how much flowers cost, we know that we're going to have a little educational session.
Right.
And we're going to let you know and then see if you want to move forward or what you want to do, or, maybe schedule you for another time while you go and prioritize your vendors and see what you want. You might really love food. You prioritize your vendors. Photography.
What's important to you.
Big deal. That's your takeaway. Think about it.
Right.
So we kind of feel that out. And then if you select I am shopping for other vendors, for all types of florists, then we're going to send you a rough estimate, because for us to sit and do that itemized proposal is hours. So many hours, and unpaid, and just all for
only
what?
to potentially be ghosted.
To be ghosted sometime. A lot of the time. 20% of the time, I want to say. So that's a lot of work for Caitlin. That's a lot of work for me to get that result. And I will usually make contact with them. I make it a priority. Yeah, I'm pretty, I'll star 69 you, whatever it takes. I will find you at your work and say, why do you not choose me? No, I'm kidding. But no, I really just want them to break out of that and just communicate and just say, like, hey, we've gone in a different direction, but we appreciate you. That's always nice.
Thanks for your time.
Even just a no. It's a no for me, dog. Okay, cool. Whatever it takes.
I got a response, yep.
But yeah, when we send things out and we don't have that communication, and a lot of it, even if you've already paid your retainer too, you still have to communicate with us. You can't get a week out from your wedding and you said, well, I already paid my retainer and I didn't need to talk to you until the week before my wedding. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, RIP, we were looking for you in the morgue at this point. Like, what's happened? Where did you go?
Right.
We've tried, and we've all got it. And I will let a lot of people know a little secret about our CRM, customer relationship management systems. We can tell when you open that email. So when you say, I didn't see that email, and it says email was opened at 8:32 p.m., we can tell, and you're lying, and we know it. But we don't hate you for it. It happens. Life happens.
How hard is it not to call that out?
It's
in the screenshot.
It's there. I mean, it happens all the time. Maybe they did. Maybe they had a few in, were a few in that night when they opened it. I don't know.
Forgot they saw it.
But it's we can see that you opened it. So.
Oh man.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for us because it's like, oh, okay, all right, but here it is. We did have it to you real quick.
Yeah.
Or if they haven't opened it, that's when we know we need to call them because it's been a week and they haven't opened this email, and we need to let them know it's gone to their spam or something.
I've actually, for a while there was a tip going around to create a separate email address dedicated just for weddings. I've had multiple brides get locked out of that account. After starting it, getting in contact with all of their vendors with that email address, and then months later, finally get access to it back. Because, it's not often that you're juggling multiple emails, and so they get locked out. I don't know.
It's not on your phone either. It's not
and they're like, oh my gosh, it's been such a struggle. I've been on the phone with Google a million times trying to get this email back.
Yeah, it does. Life does happen.
I agree. It's great to have everything concise and in one area, but make sure you have your stuff on lock. Like,
It's a thing.
if you lose access to that, you're going to lose all your wedding planning.
It is a big deal. So, and and maybe they were just having a super productive day that day. And we try to capitalize on that too for you.
Yeah.
Because I have days that I'm just like super productive. And then it's
Yep.
like, crap, why did I start this project? Now I can't finish it. Now I've gotten so productive, I can't even do any of it. I get it. Like I said, we're all human. But that's our process. That's it. That's the process. And we, we trust it. We've done it for a very long time, too.
It works.
And most of the time it works. Most of it does work. And we try to make it look easy. And I think that's a successful event. Mm-hmm. We're all dead back here, but that event...
With a smile on our face.
Yeah, that event went off very well. Without a hitch. Oh, love it. So, I mean, that's it. That's the goal at the end of the day. And then we're there to strike it. We're waiting out in the parking lot like a bunch of goons, waiting for you to end. Yeah. And I'm sitting there going, oh, I love this song. And my staff is just like, oh, what is taking them so long? And I'm like, I just love this part. Oh, I'm still delusional, completely delusional.
No, my guys do that too.
No,
sure.
I still love it.
Can I take the chargers off that plate yet?
No.
Off that table?
Get back. I'm holding them back. I'm like, no, they're still, and let them enjoy their day. It's the best day of their lives,
I don't know.
I know.
I think I'm in there too with them. Like,
I know, but I just love. I'm such a romantic. I'm just over there like, oh, they're so beautiful. I hope they like their flowers.
It depends how much grief they gave me all day too.
I don't know. Just like watch this all. I like black out during all of it. I guess I don't even remember. You could have been so mean to me, and I would still just be like, I love it.
I ride home from receptions in silence.
I typically, my thoughts are so loud. Music and all, nothing. It's always silent.
Okay. Or listening to a podcast.
Or listening to the
podcast,
I've
been listening to Party in the USA, blasting beside my ear for the last hour.
Yeah. It's endless love. What can I say? Just the endless love of it all. Because that's how old I am. That still was a popular wedding song when I started.
It has, yeah.
Yeah, so... I don't know. It definitely is something. I wonder how long I'm going to be able to keep doing this. Mm-hmm. For sure. I mean, that's the reality for it. I'm 40 years old. But yeah.
I feel like that's a big reality for a lot of people especially weddings. I mean, you don't want to be 60 climbing a ladder doing floral installations.
I mean,
in a perfect world, maybe, yeah. But
wouldn't it be still great to climb the ladder without vertigo? Yes, absolutely. Do I love to be able to climb a ladder?
Photographers running around, or your DJ playing songs and MC and like.
I don't think they're going to hire me at that age. I think sometimes maybe it's a young person's game sometimes, You
phase out of it, you age out of it, I guess.
I know. When I'm sitting in my little chair at night at 10 p.m., knowing I've got to be back up there at midnight, I'm just like, oh, I'm too old for this stuff. Oh, I'm too old for this. And I really should have just paid someone a couple $100 who cleaned it up or whatever. But I like to go and see it all. I love the moms, and I love when they come up and say, oh, the flowers were beautiful. Y'all did such a great job. I live for that. And I shouldn't, but I live for it. I love it. I love a compliment. I love an email. That validation. Do you ever find that you need it? I don't know. I said that 5 years or so ago. I said, I don't need the validation anymore. But boy, when I get it.
When you can feel the true appreciation. Yeah. You know how much you put into it, how much your heart is into it. And then when somebody can see that, okay.
It's like that getting to breathe. I feel like I used to feel like it a lot more. Now I'm getting older and tougher and, calloused and maybe even a little bit, but grumpy, whatever. But even my staff, too, because I share every compliment with them, every good review. I screenshot it, send it to everybody. It does mean a lot to us when we get that just little pat on the back, hey, y'all did a great job. Even if it's a month after, even from the planners too.
Or
everybody. It's just really nice.
When somebody's recommending you, oh, we used them for my daughter's wedding 2 years ago. They were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay, you still remember that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. So, it's the little things that keeps us going. Mm-hmm. Heck, even a gratuity, that's a wonderful thing to be able to hand my staff extra, a little extra from the family. Which we don't see that much of, and on our end of it, so no one expects it. But to be able to hand them $100 a piece, oh my Lord, that's just extra. And if I don't, it's just one of those things. It just really makes your staff and your team want to come back for more a lot of the time because they feel good. They feel good, and because they're all excellent. They're so great. I have this one girl, Jessica. She can climb on a 10-foot or so ladder and hop that mother sucker like 5 or 6. Hop the damn thing like a circus performer.
Do you have workers' comp?
Yes, of course, but not for. She's an independent contractor. That one is. So she got to.
All right, you start doing
I'm
that.
gonna catch her. Look, I'm gonna catch her. I know I would catch her. I've already planned for this. Remember, I've already planned for this. Already planned.
Nowhere to slide.
But it's incredible to see the things they do, to see them blossom themselves too with all of the work. And I can't say enough about them. They help me. But the first wedding I ever did was my college roommate, I guess it was roommate's wedding. And she got married here on the coast. And I was working at a florist. And he did a few of the arrangements. But I was like, I'm going to do the centerpieces as my gift. Oh, Lord. I know every floral designer has this story. And it's going to be my gift. Well, and my curse, because it happened that on the weekend that she got married was a little hurricane called Hurricane Isaac. That it was one of those floody hurricanes that just kind of flooded us. So it pushed all that water in. And she was getting married in Long Beach. And I was in the Bay. So we're all getting ready and trying to drive. A lot of people didn't show up to that wedding because this hurricane. The National Guard was here. And I remember the flowers did come in, thank goodness, because they were earlier in the week. Mm-hmm. So we had all these flowers. We're at her house, like the centerpieces. Why did I say this is? Of course, I'm going to pick the prettiest. I'll make your
bouquet as
I'm
your
going to
gift.
pick the prettiest centerpieces. So at the time, it was, baby's breath and burlap. This is how long ago this was. So baby's breath and burlap were absolutely a thing, and green. So we chose these candles, pillar candles wrapped with asparagus. So cool, right? It's still cool, in my opinion. It's still cool.
Produce is so big right now.
And this is I'm circling back. I'm that old. I'm produce old. Produce baby's breath and burlap old. And so we're did these candles, and then let it be this wrap that goes around the asparagus to hold it together is a piece of burlap ribbon with their names and their wedding day ironed onto it by yours truly, the 2 days before. And ironed onto that, right? So it was ironed on and then wrapped around it. There were artichoke candles where some of the groomsmen had to gut the artichokes out. And all of this at the end of the day is to try to save our friends some money and then to also have the best wedding ever, right?
Right.
So those are your centerpieces, that and some baby's breath on a dish and on a 60-inch round and old what do you call it? St. Thomas in Long Beach. So it's there. Everything was there. Well, here comes this hurricane. All that's done. I have to make all of our bridesmaids bouquets. I have to make all the boutonnieres too. And all the corsages, everything. I'm making all of this. This is my gift. My gift. Yes. So all of this. So
Did she pay for your dress at least?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. We wouldn't have even known that was a thing. So, but they were, I will say, some of the best bridesmaids dresses we ever had were those dresses. I know.
Maybe a little bit
Worst spray tan I ever had.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but some of the best
I know
dresses.
really great spray tan artists.
Lord, no. Hopefully I don't have to get spray tan ever again. So I do all this. I stay up. Me and the bridesmaids stay up all night long. And not partying. because we didn't get to have a bachelorette party because of the hurricane. So we stay up all night long working. We have to be at our hair appointments in Long Beach. And it's like the Steel Magnolia Salon, like that one, like those kind of hair. I look like Loretta Lynn's cousin after that hair appointment. It was great. I mean, the higher the hair, the closer to God.
Yeah.
So, I loved it. I thought it was so fun. And so we get there, and we have to be at those at like 5 a.m. or something, or 8. No, it's Catholic wedding, so it was early. So it was like
2 o'clock ceremony.
I think that 2 o'clock. So like 5 a.m. or something crazy. We have to be at the salon to go and get our hair done. So I'd been up all night. A couple of the bridesmaids hung in there until about 3 a.m. So they got at least 2 hours of sleep, a nap. And so we get there. We're all just like passed out, just waiting for our hair to get done, whatever. And then we go to the thing. I'm out there. I'm in the thing. All the bridesmaids are at the Holiday Inn or wherever they are, hotel, staying, getting dressed. I don't get to get dressed with them. I think my friend was upset at that, but I was over there managing that ceremony, making sure all the baby's breast tufts are perfectly done. When we got there, I guess we thought that the venue at the church would set up all the tables. No, they did not. So we had to set up everything.
That's one of my big questions.
It is a thing. Who knew?
This up?
This is like all of our first wedding. She's like the first one of our friend group. We have no idea what we're doing. Absolutely no idea. It was a good wedding though. And I think Hooks catered it, like back in the day.
Okay.
And so it was really good because they always catered well. And so, and Caitlin worked that wedding.
Really?
Caitlin worked that wedding. My first wedding, Caitlin worked that wedding for Hooks. Yeah. Weird. I know. Weird.
Small world.
That's so small. So we do that wedding. By the time the reception happens, I'm hallucinating. I could see through my hand. I remember being splayed out on the table and looking through my hand at the centerpieces that I stayed up all night making. And I just thought, I've got to go home now. So it happens like that.
Yeah.
So, don't DIY your wedding. Don't do your friend's wedding if you want to have a good time. Definitely did my own flowers. Do not recommend that either. So dumb. What was I thinking? I don't know.
Did you have a planner?
I did.
They didn't tell you no?
No, but I didn't have like a planner. It was a friend because, I'm in the industry. So, my child's first birthday party.
I felt the same. I got it.
I know. My child's first birthday party, I had a planner. Wedding collection. It's like, y'all gonna help me. Y'all gonna do it. I'm not doing it. I know better now. I know better now than to try to pull these things. To sit in my kitchen and try to put together a balloon arch is like a layer of hell I will not traverse through anymore as a 40-year-old woman. I'm not doing it. I probably will still do it again. I'm so dumb. I just never learn. But I really feel like, I try to find someone that can do that now. I will hire Gabby to do that. I will hire whoever to help me. I made a birthday cake the other day. Nightmare. I couldn't even move my hand after. So, all these things that we still, think we can do them. We can't do them and have the best time.
Exactly, yes. One of my very best friends is a baker. Yeah. And I hate to ask her to do cakes and stuff for my kids' birthdays, but she...
What was the thinking?
Says she'll do it, so I'll ask her to do it. I pay her to do it. It's great. It turns out great. My son's about to be 3 in a couple weeks, and I'm thinking, I'm not going to put that on her. Maybe I should try to make one.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I'll show you a hard picture of Clementine's
And as I'm
cake.
thinking of that, I'm like, that's going to be a bad idea.
It's a terrible idea because you don't
I'm not going to enjoy
squeezing that. I have very strong hands. Squeezing those things of icing is a nightmare. I couldn't hold my phone for hours. My hands were just dead. So useless.
Lessons learned. Yes. Let the professionals stay. Let the professionals do what they're good at doing. Yes. And if you're a professional good at doing something, do that thing. Yeah. You don't have to do the other thing.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends on the volume, I mean, if you are having 50 guests, by all means, if you want to do your own flowers and make it a fun thing with your sister who's your bridesmaid, yeah, girl, do it. Totally, man. Just go ahead.
But if you're packing out the Civic Center,
no. If your sister is coming in from, California and wants it has like 2 days with you, do not make her do that. You go have fun.
Right.
I tell them all, I'm like, I don't want to see you picking this bouquet up. I want to see your helper that's helping you that day pick this bouquet up. Don't you dare come up here and pick your bouquet up. You need helpers, and you send them to do it. Don't do it. Take that time. You're not going to get it back.
Right.
So take the time. Take your day for yourself.
Ideally, you're only getting the one. So.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And the engagement period too. I mean, that's why you.
Yes. Yeah. Hire the professionals, and don't fight with your mom. Don't terminate you and your mother's relationship over a wedding, over a flower color.
It's always the mama too.
It's a tough job to be a mom. I fought with my mom through my whole wedding. She wanted white flowers. I wanted color. So, we fought the whole time.
I pray every day for my kid's future
spouse
dealing with me.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Can you imagine? I don't know what I would have done when I met my husband if he had told me that his mother was a wedding planner. I would have wanted to crawl under a rock. Can you imagine how that girl's going to feel when my son, or whoever my son marries, when he lets his future spouse know? My mom's been a wedding planner for 30 years at this point. Yeah. They're going to want to crawl under a rock.
Yeah, it's the thing. So
and I pray for my sanity to be able to.
Look,
nope, I am mama. I am not.
I've had a wedding planner mom at a consultation.
Oh, God.
And she was wonderful. She sat back. She said, I'm not saying anything. Now, she said that a few times. I'm not saying a word. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. And she reminded herself several times to do that.
That's
and
what I mean. That's what I pray for.
Best weddings ever.
Is that I know where my boundaries are and stick to them. And that my children want me to be involved.
I was so proud
and that their future spouses want me to be involved.
And it ended up being one of the coolest, best weddings. Wild little things that happened at it, but no big deal. But it was a great wedding. You could tell it was a great wedding.
Good.
So, and
that's all she wanted, right?
That's all that she got.
All she should have wanted.
Yeah, she did it. I was proud of her because it would have been hard. It would be hard for me to sit there with a floral designer and watching them go through their process. And, I'd be sitting there doing the same thing. She would cross my arms and just say, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. It's tough.
Have to do it one day, right?
Hopefully, yeah. I'm here for it. We always fantasize about that, though. We always have our kids like dream weddings, knowing very well that they're probably going to just be like, I just want to elope. Yeah, exactly. And then
is that not a worse nightmare?
I mean, it is and it's not. And I feel like 90% of the reason I even walked down the aisle was because I knew I had to give my mom this wedding because I was the only daughter getting married. And even though being in the business, I probably would have seen, because I've seen so much stress that comes with it. And knowing how I am, I probably would have said, I'm just going to elope in West. My husband would have been fine with that. Oh, a dream for him. He doesn't have to do anything.
That's tough.
Yeah, and I would have loved that. However, I got to live my dream, and she got to live her dream through me, vicariously through me. Right. Also for her, third wedding. So, yeah, I mean, she got a little bit. Gave her a little bit, you know. I gave her the church. So I gave her that. It was all white flowers in the church. And then here I came with my coral colored, what do you call it? Coral peony bouquet and whatever, lime green. And there she is. Yep.
That's my daughter.
She's like, green and white is always right. Which I do love a green and white.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously.
You can't go wrong with the traditional.
It is right, but do what's in your heart,
What's in your heart is what's right.
Yeah, what's in your heart is what's right. And maybe you do the church in green and white, and then you just do you. You fly your colorful flag all you want for your personals and your reception. But,
that'd be awesome. Just two vastly different concepts.
That's what I did. I had green and white at the church in the house of the Lord. And then here I came with me and my entourage, and we were all like coral color, my favorite color, just bright as I am, So it was a cool juxtaposition, but obviously a compromise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely
Most
didn't
things are.
match, but it made sense because it was a compromise. Here's my mom's
Yeah.
thing. I have to get married at
And
the
I'm
church.
sure
and
anybody
blah,
that
blah, blah.
knew y'all
Oh,
knew
100%.
you
Yeah.
didn't bat an eye. Like,
No,
yep,
they
that's
they
her.
think they're going into this green and white wedding, and then here she comes with her colors, her crazy colors, and then my reception was all colorful too. So it was a good compromise since I didn't really think I wanted that. And a lot of the time we get that all the time. You know, one of our biggest weddings that we ever did, the bride just looked at me in that consultation and said, I don't really care anything about flowers. And I was like, oh my gosh, why am I here? And then she's like, but my mother does. And Mom just pulls herself right up to that table. And I'm like, let's talk. Because I love moms. I love moms because they want the best for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I love them for that. And I see it. I get it now. Now I understand. So, yeah, now I understand. I used to be like, it's what about what the bride wants too? But like the moms, I love them. I get along with a mom. You know, I do. And because I understand them. And I have a
well, I mean, I say, oh,
with mine.
It's always the mom, and it is always the mom from my perspective that's coming up and freaking out about things because they're unaware that their child has hired me to handle it. They didn't see that plan, and so then when I can reassure them, I've got it handled, and then it is handled. They're like, okay, cool.
It is very hard for you as a parent to realize when or if your child has developed the faculties to make a decision.
Yes.
A good decision. And it almost seems like it never happened. If you were to tell my mom I was like an artist and I was successful and everything, you know, she wouldn't believe it. Every time I call her and I'm like, Mom, I was in the newspaper and I was like, I have to say, not in the arrest records this time, not in it this time, you know, I was on the front page, but it's a good thing, you know, she still barely would not believe that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she just has what moms have. You're the child, and I know what's best.
Because I would always question, what's this planner that my child has hired for their wedding? Are they fulfilling everything?
Of course.
And I have.
Yeah, it's instinctual. So you got to ride with it. It's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And I love it. I think it's sweet and endearing for the most part. I love them all. I love it. And I love when the moment they release their child out into the wild and say, okay, maybe you do need to make that decision because you are capable. Because they're getting married. So they've got to be capable of some,
and they're capable because you ideally raised them to be that way.
Exactly.
So you get to see your hard work pay off.
Exactly. But what I don't love is a bride that wants a colorful scheme and then a mom says, no, green and white, and I'm paying for it. You know, that's counterproductive. Mm-hmm. You know, usually what I find, we go full circle when they start out with the colorful and then they are like, never mind, and all the color gets drained from them and about halfway through it because they're tired and they don't want to fight it. They've given up. They quit fighting. And then a lot of the time I see it surge right back up and then we're back to color, which is great. I mean, that's such a weird thing to see too. I don't know. I'm probably one of the only, I know I'm not the only one because most of the time it happens there's a planner involved too because they've got to do it. Everybody's got to make a change.
Right.
So, but it's interesting to see that
relearn
dynamic.
how to stand their ground.
Yeah.
And have that tough conversation with the person who's paying.
Yeah. Like, this is
I appreciate you paying, but you agreed to pay for what I want.
Right, exactly.
Let's have what I want.
You know, that it happens quite often. Mm-hmm. That's the beautiful thing about that 30-day out. When we get to that 30-day out, that's the decision that really has to be finalized. And we've had them flip.
Applying that pressure. Like, you can't change it after this.
This is it. There's no going back. I mean, you can add stuff, sure. You know, but you can't go back on this. I've already got everything ordered now. Right. So once we order, we're pretty locked in. So, 30 days out when we visit that time period, that's the make or break it time. And it's either a 30-minute phone call or a 3-hour phone call. So, But I don't know. It's interesting. I love to see their dynamics most of the time.
Yeah, I agree.
So, okay.
My big question that I do like to ask, and if you've listened, you know what I'm going to ask you. If nobody listens to anything that you did talk about, what's the big takeaway you want clients to have and people that are thinking about joining the industry?
Okay, so for the clients, communicate with your vendors, and be mindful of their time, and just know that their time is sacred as much as your time is too.
Right.
Hire a planner if you can, please. It will help you. It will help everybody, especially if you're a person that has trouble communicating.
Right.
I think that's a really important thing. And get a budget. I mean, know where you're going to do, where you can go. What drives me, or I guess it makes me really sad, is to see someone take out like a wedding loan
Oh,
halfway
yeah.
through the process. And it's like, no, don't. Like, we want you to have a special day, and you will have a special day. Like, don't do it. Up and coming florists or floral designers or anybody in the industry, don't lowball everybody. Wherever
Right.
you set initially, guess what? They're gonna say, "Well, she did my flowers for $1,000," and then you're 2 years down the road, but you did so and so's flowers for $1,000. And you're like, "But now it's
And
$5,000."
be willing
And
to have those hard conversations
yeah,
if you do
so
that.
know that there is an industry standard out there for pricing your floral designs, and that you can Google it and figure it out and
Google,
just do a little
yes.
math.
You say, I don't know how to make a
Research
budget.
it. Yeah.
Just
Take some
do a lot of
classes.
research.
I go to classes I'm in a class right now. Next week I go for like an intensive thing. I'm always learning. And the best advice I could give anybody in that industry is to stay green, because when you bloom, you die. So always stay green.
Yeah.
Always try to seek new
I love
knowledge and
that.
understanding, because it's going to make or break you in this industry, and it will set you apart from others, and you won't get just locked into the same old, same old. Just stay green, keep educating yourself. It's very important. And, talk to your designers about the options for your florals, where they're going to go after the wedding. That is
Okay.
a very big deal for us. We love to be what we call a sustainable florist. So with that, we try to impart sustainable practices in floristry, and the best handling and care practices that we can. So with that being said, at the end of your event, make sure you have a plan for your flowers, because where are they going to go? Are you going to stuff all of those centerpieces in a vehicle and make someone ride around with them for a week? No, let's not do that. Do you want to repurpose them for a luncheon the next day? Totally. What we offer, and this is absolutely insane, but we do it anyway because we love where we live and we love our community so much. When we strike or clean up a wedding, we will go and we will take your florals and we take those back to the shop that night. We water them for the evening, and I don't know that everyone does this, but I'm sure that there's people that do. We water them, we make sure they're fresh. When we come in on the following Monday, we spend Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, depending on how large the event is, and we repurpose every single flower that is still alive. So we take those, my staff, and we also invite the community sometimes too. We get all of those flowers, we clean them up, recut them, bundle them in tiny, cute little bouquets, pop them in vases, and we take them to the senior citizens' home. So
I was gonna say the nursing homes.
yeah,
I'm sure some churches.
wherever. Sometimes it might be too overwhelming for the nursing home, so then we can give them to like elderly neighbors or whoever. We will find somewhere to go, and it's a great opportunity for like the students at the school when they need to get some community service
Right.
hours. They can come help us do that. It's all, to me, one of the most beautiful things that we do in our shop, and I think it does set us apart from other florists and other designers that we do that we're very mindful of the product that we take back and we repurpose it.
Yeah.
So I don't want everyone to think that flowers are waste. They're definitely not. They're the best thing in that moment, one of the best things as far as your decor goes. So it's alive. It's wonderful. You're present there at that time. And
but you can get that second life out of it.
And you can have beyond that,
Yeah.
very much like ourselves and our acts that we do on this earth. Those flowers have the same kind of lifespan. So what they do is they serve you at your wedding, and then now let them go and serve others. And to me, I think that's a powerful thing.
Yes.
Because we're able to take those blooms and instead of trashing them, which I've seen people do a lot, and it's very sad, and it ruins our reputation in the industry when people do that, because it just leads to the adage like, oh, they're such a waste.
Right.
But they're not. Oh my gosh.
They don't have to be.
They don't have to be. And it takes a lot of hard work, and we're already worn out, but we're going to do it anyway. That my staff and my team will tell you, there's not a single one that we just throw them away. We're going to repurpose them. We're going to go, me and Clementine, usually it's my family. We live right down the street from it. So we meet there, and it's something I want to instill in my child too. That, hey, we take these things and we give to others as much as we can, even if it means sucking the life out of us on a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, what little life was left.
But you get life from that too, though.
That's
so
our purpose.
Yes.
We are just like the flowers. We are here in the present too. So we are the beauty in our act of serving people. So let them go and serve others. And I think it's just a beautiful thing. So that is one of my favorite things that we do. I encourage other vendors to consider doing that and to invite your community to that table when you do, because they will help you, bundle those. So when people come in, I ask them, would you like to make a bouquet for the senior center? And they go, oh my gosh, yes, or oh no thanks, here's the flowers, help us. And it gives people a little happy when they come in my door to buy whatever, their soap or whatever.
Yeah.
So I love that. I think it's one of the
beautiful.
coolest things. I hope so. It feels taxing, but to take that out of it, what I get out of that, oh man, it's one of those things that makes it all worth it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So don't ever think your flowers go to waste. They don't always go to waste, especially at my shop. And I hope other florists do that too, or start doing it. It's never too late to start doing a good thing.
Well, stay green, like you said.
Yeah, always stay green, baby. Stay green.
I love it. Well, so how can people reach you?
You can reach me through my phone is the main thing, because like I said, I love to be on that phone. So 228-364-3091 or FrenchPotager.com, thefrenchpotager.net, Facebook, The French Potager, Instagram, The French Potager, TikTok, The French Potager.
Okay.
Where else? Send me a pigeon. Find me at 213 Main Street. Catch me outside at 213 Main Street, Bay St. Louis. And just ask around. You'll find me. I'm usually there. I'm usually at work.
And I'll link everything, of course, in the show
I'm usually
notes,
at work. So track me down. I'm worth it.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Yes, you are absolutely worth it. Martha, thank you so much again for being here, and I will see you guys at the next one. Bye. Thanks for listening to The Hitch List. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share your wins and woes. I want to celebrate or commiserate with you. Until next time, where creativity meets celebration and details matter. Want to be featured as an event vendor on The Hitch List? Send me a message. I'd love to share your stories and behind-the-scenes moments.